word. I mean, words are important. But word keeps coming in my mind when you said that, and again, you know what? Even the last time I saw you, and and that word is disruptor. The word is disruptor. The fact that it's partly disrupting the status quo. It's partly disrupting how people think. You talked about the work-life balance. I've heard people say work-life choice, but the fact that you put that on his head, you've talked about the reasons why. You talk about being vulnerable. You talk about some of the impact that you've had, some of the fact that we want the employers to play their role. A lot of it is about a lot of it is usually that sort of slave owner type relationship or master slave type relationship when it comes to employers and training providers, and yes sir, three bags full sir type of approach, and you're going there and talking comfortably and holding your own. So for me, that's disruption. That's disruptor in a positive sense.
I think I'm just doing the old-fashioned thing. So first of all, work-life balance on that point. I like work-life integration. I'll give you that one. I think that's a lovely concept. It's the balance bit. It's the idea that one is detracting from the other. That's what bothers me.
Okay.
But apprenticeships, let's face it. When was the first one, Saf? I don't know. But those Pembrokeshire stone miners who got Stonehenge going were probably doing something like it, I would imagine, where they're bringing a generation of less technical people through to become more technical people and talking to them about what life's like.
Yeah.
And so that's very old. And in Tudor times, do you know what I mean? The people were apprenticing, etc. So it's a very old-fashioned notion. I think what happened, I welcomed the apprenticeship. You're talking about being a disruptor.
Yeah.
The apprenticeship reforms were actually started by Gordon Brown's Labour government.
Yeah.
And what he was saying, it was employer ownership of skills was the big notion. And I remember those events being organised at that time. And I was thinking, well, haven't employers always? Why is it a good idea that employers own skills? Of course, employers own skills. How can they not? But when the apprenticeships reforms came in, Saf, a lot of equity invested apprenticeships providers arrived, and it was like making it a business rather than an educational agenda. Yeah. And I think there were some quite cynical attitudes arrived in our sector at that point in history. So if I'm disrupting anything, it's not apprenticeships and work-based learning and employer ownership of skills. It's this cynical attitude towards business equity invested apprenticeship delivery as a profit vehicle. That's what I suppose I'm disruptive against. And as I say, the consequence of that is they look for the cheap way of delivering an apprenticeship program. Okay. And what I'm more interested in is an effective way of making a positive impact on the employer organisation and the people who are apprenticing in roles for them. So the only thing I disrupt is something that needs disrupting, but I'm uncomfortable, as you can tell, with the way I'm responding, with the notion of being a disruptor. I actually think I'm just doing things in a good way.
Yeah. But I think labels are important in some aspects of it. I mean, nobody likes being pigeonholed, but we do pigeonhole people, and we sort of put labels on, and we use some of it for our own benefit to try and understand it. So if I was to try and describe yourself, I would need to have some words to say, this, and again, that is a word that
I'm a skills educator.
Skills educator, which means different things to different people, and even the word, I'm not trying to say,
adult skills.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.